KUX News Time 740. Let's turn our attention to the Oregon Attorney General's race heating up. Do you recognize the theme music as we welcome candidate Dwight Holton to the studio? Recognize the song, Dwight?
Can't tell.
It's the theme from The Virginian. The old
Paul, what are you doing?
It's an old TV show. Playing games here on the Morning Update because, as you know, one of the charges of your opponent, Ellen Rosenblum, is you're not from here. You're from Virginia. And she doesn't think that the Virginian should run for Attorney General. I guess you say what?
Well, you know, Paul, my wife and I did not have the good fortune to be born in Oregon, but over just about 10 years ago, we had the good sense to move here. We're raising our family across the river in inner southeast Portland. My kids go to public school here. They were born here, and this is where we're making our stand.
Thanks to both candidates for letting us have a little fun at the start of that. But one of the serious charges is you're raising money for this campaign, mostly on the East Coast and not here.
You know, I'm proud to have support from people I've worked with my entire career. Most of the people on that list are people that have worked tirelessly to elect Democrats, people like Paul Begala, people like, I think there are 4 former chiefs of staff to Hillary Clinton on the list of people who've helped me out. But, you know, if you want to really look at where our support comes from, I think you ought to look at the people we trust here in Oregon. Oregon Education Association, American Federation of Teachers, working people across the state have endorsed me, and not to mention the 56 Oregon district attorneys and sheriffs who have waved in. Every single person who has endorsed me.
Also, since we talked to you last, Dwight, you've received endorsements from the Oregonian and just yesterday from the News Review Douglas County.
That's right, and the Statesman Journal, the Eugene Register Guard, the Medford Mail Tribune, the East Oregonian, the Central Oregonian. We're getting support from everywhere in the state, and that's because people know I'm the right person to get this job done.
You, on the other hand, have attacked Ellen Rosenblum for saying, apparently in a radio interview, that 80% of the job is being the government's lawyer, but you know, what I raised, she's saying about you and you're saying about her. What is the key issue in this race beyond what we're hearing at just surface level?
The two most important differences between me and Ellen are, number one, our vision for what this job is, and number two, our experience to get that job done. Ellen has said, as you point out, that 80% of this job is advising agencies and the governor. I don't think that's right. This is the Oregon Department of Justice, and I take that word justice seriously. It means going to work to fight for people who have the cards stacked against them. And the second distinction is really our experience. I've managed a statewide law practice, so a public safety agency, getting the job done. It's really different from being a referee. I've been in the fighting for people.
In the Oregonian's editorial in endorsing you, it talked about the next Attorney General is going to inherit an agency that's developed significant morale problems under John Kroger, who's struggled with staff management and political give and take. If there is a morale problem, can you improve it?
You bet I can. When I was the United States Attorney, I led the Public Safety Office statewide. We had significant challenges like budget cuts and hiring freeze, the threat of a government shutdown, and yet we did more. We tightened our belt, we put our nose to the grindstones, and we did more. We launched a Civil Rights Initiative. We launched an environmental crimes initiative. We launched an initiative to push back on the epidemic of prescription drug abuse that is killing 400 people a year in Oregon. We did all of this at a time when we had a shrinking staff and a shrinking budget because we had a great teamwork to get the job done. That's what I'll bring to the Department of Justice.
Our time is all but up, Dwight. Is there anything the Attorney General's office hasn't focused on that you would if you were elected?
I want to focus double down on consumer protection and on protecting consumers from aggressive foreclosure tactics that are threatening to pull us out of the economic recovery. Mostly out-of-state banks are really killing people here. The Attorney General's got to step up and take that on. I'll do it.
One of these two, Democrat, will be the next Attorney General. There's no Republican in this race. We've been talking with Dwight Holton this morning. And Dwight, thanks for letting us have some fun at the outset and for talking to us again this morning.
It's great to be here, Paul and Scott. Thanks, guys.